Hey, Sleep Warrior! This week I traveled to Saipan for my annual trip to help those with sleep and neurological disorders. I tend to get pretty anxious before I leave, and one of the reasons is the long flights. Today, I'll dive into how to optimize your sleep and wakefulness on overnight flights, a challenge I know all too well. Now, the goal during long flights is to number one, trick your brain into syncing with your destination's time zone. And number two, ensure you get some sleep when the time is right. It's all about managing light exposure and sleep. Now, before we move on, my number one tip is to set your clocks and subsequently your brain to your destination's time zone. Do this right away, meaning on your way to the airport. Everything else I'm going to talk about here hinges on this, so do not skip this step. Okay, next. Our brain manages our body's clock, also called our circadian rhythm, and it does this through cues, mainly light exposure, but also through meals and downtime. Spending lots of time in the air and crossing multiple time zones wreaks havoc on our systems. And while we'll never fully eliminate this sudden shift in body rhythms, we can minimize the impact. So here are my 3 must-haves, or maybe must-bring-with-yous, before taking any long-haul flight. The timing of their use is the real key. Number 1, blue blocking glasses. First, arm yourself with blue blocking glasses. These aren't just trendy accessories. They're essential tools in controlling your exposure to blue light, which is the light that has the biggest impact on your sleep-wake cycle. When the clock is after 8 p.m. at your destination, put on these glasses. And if you already wear glasses, just get yourself a pair of clip-ons. It's no problem. I even have a pair of blue-blocking reading glasses. So, conversely, if it's daytime at your destination, take off the glasses and pull up that window shade. Or if that's not an option, just stare at those awful, tiny little blue lights in that small bathroom. Number 2, eye shades and a comfy neck pillow. Why? Because you can't rely on the airline cabin to manage light effectively. They often miss the mark. Use eye shades to block out light when it's nighttime at your destination. And take your neck comfort into your own hands. Since we'll be trying to sleep in an upright position, it's important to mimic the support of a pillow. A supportive neck pillow also allows you to switch positions from left to right, something that improves comfort when sleeping for a long duration. Number 3, consider a sedating medication, either over the counter such as melatonin or something stronger prescribed by your doctor. Now, this is not for the long term, believe me, but for adjusting to a new time zone or for sleeping on a plane, it can be incredibly helpful. So take the sedating medication and schedule your sleep as close to your destination's bedtime as possible, even if you don't feel particularly sleepy. Importantly, don't mix the medication with alcohol or use excessive alcohol to force yourself to sleep on a plane. Alcohol worsens the dehydration already experienced on planes, and you'll feel worse on arrival. If you have sleep apnea, you can bring your machine on board. Just be sure to have a portable battery, or check the airlines and determine if your seat has power, and if the outlet can support a CPAP machine. So, in summary, manipulating light is key. Block out light when it's night at your destination, and during the daytime hours at your destination, try to stay awake and expose yourself to light. It's all about creating an environment conducive to your destination's time zone right there in the airplane cabin. So remember, effective sleep management when traveling is not just about comfort. It's about maintaining health and well-being across the time zones. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week with some pictures from my trip.